Так, я бегаю вот здесь. Да.
The smell alone tells me we have found a troll's lair.
Еще раз проверю, что кого продать. Продать. Так, этого я оставлю. Ладно, все оставлю. Пошли поджигать задницы оркам. Успокоился. Чё стоим?
I sense a weakness in this wall. I can open a way through it.
Еху.
Ah, a vein of gold. Don't stray too far in these caves. We'd best stick together in case of trouble.
Вот, сука, разбил мне камбуху. Этот настолько охуел, что в текстуру проводился. Не твали. Мешаешь. Так, давай-ка ему в голову. Все, ребят. Сейчас. Сначала лук. Отлично, булава плюс секира. Ох, как много бочек. Добивочка. Красота.
At last, I see sunlight ahead.
Dwarf is upon you!
Ну и хули это было, блядь? Ох уж эти добивания.
I'll have to wait.
Мне показалось, ли где-то еще лучник был.
Watch yourselves. The big one looks dangerous. Not possible.
Вот сука. Спасибо. Сучка.
Can't do that yet.
Сделаешь купол? Не хочет, сучка, делать купол. Ну, вроде как все взял. Идем дальше.
There's something hidden behind here. Troll!
Take cover within this sphere of light!
You haven't got the stomach to face me!
Я зафармил снаряд еблом. Так, ну-ка, ну-ка, ну тихо, 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 спокойно. Так, один есть. Один есть. Давай пока отхилимся здесь, постреляем отсюда. Ага. Добивочка. Амулет несокрушимости звучит очень солидно. Так, ну-ка давай. Могущество 50. Следопыт. Нахуй пошел следопыт. Че это? Уручье пойло. Использовать. Выносливость плюс 5, урон в бою плюс 50. Время действия 2,5 минуты. Этот урочный напиток отвратительно пахнет, обжигает горло, но вызывает временный прилив сил. Да, жалко, что в этой игре разработчики не сделали что-то типа быстрых доступов. Чтоб я навесил себе эликсиров и быстрыми горячими клавишами их выпивал. Так, по характеристикам пока нигде нету ничего. На амулет можно что-то навесить. Вставить камень. 5 воля, 5 ловкости, 30 урон. 30 урон. Давай. Нет. Вот сюда. Хорош. Эти сундуки не открываются.
Here.
Степёж, что ли, меня игра? Чё ж такое говно-то все падает? И передвинуть нельзя, чтобы поудобнее было. А чё у меня по этим? По прочности 93, 51 из 80. Нормально, живем еще. Пойдет. Сейчас будет босс. Так как задел-то? Ни хрена 46 набил. Ну чё стоите-то, блядь? Я куда-то в текстуры потерялся, дурак. Хорош. Далеко же стою, сука. Ага, давай. Пойдет. Ёпта.
Take refuge here. I will shield us from their arrows and bolts.
Ну. Купол. Тихо, не пропадаем. Сбрил его орел. Класс. Сейчас, погоди, перейти. Бочки надо, бочки. Полутать. Теперь вот перейти.
It is finished. My people are avenged.
And behold, here come your kin.
My lord.
It would appear that you have done our work for us, Belaram.
Not I, Lord Gwaihir. Your thanks belong to these three. Andriel, Farin, and Aradan. It is they who rid us of Bagrisar.
The same three that saved you at Fornost.
Indeed. A remarkable chance that we should meet again.
If chance it was. Your fates seem strangely intertwined. But be that as it may, we are doubly grateful to you. First for saving the life of Belaram, and now for slaying the giant. Are there more stone giants to deal with? There are other giants, certainly, but none that we would consider an enemy. Bargrazar was ever inclined to mischief, and was shunned by his own folk. Yet I never thought him capable of murder. He must have been persuaded to undertake these actions.
We have discovered signs that Agandar has been here in the Ettenmoors, that same servant of the Dark Lord that we encountered at Fornost.
Then we need look no further for the source of Bargrazar's corruption. But how is it you chose to search these remote moors for Agandar? Elrond Half-Elfin sent us. He had a feeling the enemy might be gathering here. I will not question the wisdom of Master Elrond. He sees much that is hidden from others. Yet I fear you have come too late to find Agandar. We have searched the Ettenmoors thoroughly in our hunt for Bargrazar. Yet we have seen no sign of this servant of the Dark Lord. If he was here, we can be reasonably certain he is here no longer. My people will work to disperse the enemy forces that remain in the moors. We will be on guard against the return of Agandar.
Then we should return to Elrond at Imladris. He will be anxious for news, and we have already been long away.
I will arrange for a messenger.
My lord, I owe my life to these three. And I too believe Agandar to be a grave threat to the free peoples of the North. Eagles no less so than any other. If you would grant me leave, I wish to accompany them and aid them in their quest.
You ask a great deal, Belaram. I may have need for all my followers soon. Yet I perceive a great destiny awaits these three, and it seems you are now part of it. Very well. I will grant you permission to join with them for as long as you see fit.
Unless Belaram plans to carry his friends like sheep in his talons, he will need help. If it pleases you, my lord, I will gladly accompany them as well.
I too have a stake in this quest. Let me be the third.
So be it. 3 who cleave the air to match 3 who walk the earth. May fortune favor you all. Armanel, Baranthor, you shall be at Balaram's command. Obey his word until such time as you return to us. Now I must depart. Many forces are at work across Middle-earth, and many events take shape. I must consider what part the Eagles will play in them.
You've been a great help, as the Eagles so often are. Thanks and farewell.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Etenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we had feared. And they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
With the help of the eagle Belarom, we were able to make an end of the giant.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We took these tokens from some of our fallen foes.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandaur.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Mount Gundabad? What do you know of that place?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. It would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
Could Agandaur be a threat to the Ring-Bearer?
Perhaps, but the Company of the Ring is bound southward, away from the regions where we believe Agandaur to be. We can hope that he has no thought for the ring. Indeed, I doubt he even knows of it.
Agandaur is building quite a force. Rivendell is their likely target.
I fear you are correct. We have made plans for our defense, but truthfully, our best hope lies in eliminating the threat of Agandaur.
If the orcs of Mount Gundabad are serving Agandaur, perhaps we can find him there.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holds of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Perhaps not. But we should not sit idle waiting for him to begin the war on his terms. At the very least, we might learn what the orcs are planning.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly. But you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
But what about Frodo? Maybe we'd be better off doing something to help him on his quest.
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
And we'll do that by ridding ourselves of Agandaur. We're off to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.
Да, подожди ты. Так, что, товарищ кузнец, есть что новенькое у тебя? Поремонтируемся. Да еще подожди, не то. Часть комплекта несокрушимость. Сокрушительный удар, смертоносная волна. Давай. Тогда сохранить. Давай так. Так, и продадим лишнее. Бильбо. Что нового расскажешь?
Welcome back, Farin. I saw we have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle. Although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
Your friends among my kinfolk have often told stories of your adventures with the eagles, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, 1 wizard, and 1 rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
Oh, I liked flying. The open air, the rush of the wind in my beard. Glorious. I can hardly wait for the next time.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
So, you fought with giants too?
Fought? Oh, heavens, no. It was more like trying my best not to be accidentally trod upon. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
Agendaur had a hand in turning the giant bad. I've no doubt of that.
Agendaur again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. It seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
We stand in his way. We'll find him if we have to search every cave, pit, and ruin in the north. And when we do, he'll get the same thing we gave the giant. You mark my words.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Eton Moors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done, maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
Bilbo Baggins writing my story? That would be an honor.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
I suppose it all started that day at the Sarn Ford. There we were. And so, with the giant dead and the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we'd learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
If I get the chance, I'll be sure to do that. Now I'd best be on my way. Farewell, Bilbo.
Those who venture into the wild.
Oh, hello again. Don't mind me. Speaking with you got me dreaming of the old days. Dwarves, elves, and men fighting against orcs and goblins. Those were glorious times.
Then I've your blessing being allied with an elf?
I will speak plainly. I may be less than fond of King Thra.
So I've heard you say many times.
Так это я вроде говорил
Of
уже.
course. But we face a far more terrible enemy in the dark.
Let's not leave out the eagles. They've...
Well spoken. Your fort.
Да, говорил уже.
That's my fault. And it's time.
Тут ничего нового. Здесь никто не стоит. Может быть, повторно с Элрондом сейчас еще побазарить. Так, пацаны еще здесь. Че нового пизданете, пацаны?
Farin, it is good to... We were beginning to be and yet you return victorious. We are grateful to you for ending the threat of Bargrassar. The giant might have done great harm, but for you. The trolls and orcs of the Ettenmoors will be dismayed by his fall. They will be slow to march against us now.
What do you know about stone giants?
They are mysterious creatures. Little is known of them, and little do they concern themselves with the affairs of other folk. Yet they were never thought to be wicked, nor are they counted among the servants of the enemy. Making it all the more strange that Bargrassar sought to make war upon us. I detect the hand of the Dark Lord in this.
What about Rivendell? Have you spotted any sign of enemies skulking around here?
No true threat, but our wardens have slain a few goblins that strayed near. It may well be they were scouts seeking the location of Imladris. Wolves are also roaming in great numbers in the wild. These might be no more than simple beasts. The enemy has used such spies before. We must assume the location of Imladris is a secret no longer.
Is Rivendell prepared for an attack?
As well as may be. This is not a fortress. Secrecy has always been our best defense. Still, an enemy would find the terrain difficult to deal with. And we have a few useful tricks to play, as the Nazgul learned when they attempted to cross the river. Yes, we might resist for a long while, but if the enemy comes in great numbers, it will only be a matter of time before Imladris falls.
All the more reason to be rid of Agendaur. The sooner the better.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution completely. You will find few places in the north more perilous than Mount Gundabad. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
It was once a great work of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago, and the orcs have taken it for their own. It is certain to be teeming with enemies. You will need to keep all your wits about you if you travel to Gundabad.
You sound surprised that the Eagles would join with us, but they have come to the aid of the Free Folk before. With my own eyes, I saw them fight beside us in the Battle of 5 Armies.
We have always counted the Great Eagles as allies and friends, but many men mistrust them and they have grown wary of dealing with other folk. They have been known to take counsel with certain of the wise upon occasion, yet they are their own masters and aid only those they deem worthy. Clearly you have made a strong impression upon them.
They'll be a great help in the hunt for Agendaur.
I am glad you are so eager to come to yet do not abandon caution completely. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
You did pretty well at Fornost. I wouldn't mind having the two of you join us in the hunt.
Alas, our father has made it clear we are to remain close at hand as long as Imladris is threatened. Such is our duty, and we will abide by it. Otherwise, we would have sought leave to accompany Aragorn on his quest.
Why would an elf of Rivendell wish to leave his home to fight in southern lands?
For many reasons, not least of which is the friendship we bear for Aragorn. We have shared many hardships and perils together, as we did with his forefathers before him. We would stand with him when he achieves the quest for which so many generations of the Dunedain had striven. And so too would we be there with him at the bitter end, should all our hopes fail.
If that is how you feel, why not ride south at once?
We cannot think only of ourselves. We have a duty to our father and our king. And what use would it be for Aragorn to gain the realm of Gondor, only to find the lands of Arnor reduced to ruin and ash behind him?
Huh? What's this about Arnor?
It is the lost northern kingdom of the Dunedain. Aragorn is heir to the throne of Arnor, as well as the southern kingdom of Gondor. And should he fulfill his destiny, Arnor will be restored. Yet the armies and agents of the Dark Lord would see it otherwise. They will not rest until these lands lie under Sauron's heel, and all free folk are slain or enslaved.
Never. The North will not fall into shadow while I still draw breath.
It heartens me to hear you say so. If you and your companions continue as you have begun, we truly have little to fear. Indeed. With you harrying the enemy across the whole of the North, the two of us will soon be on the road south.
I'll see what I can do then. Farewell for now.
Так, брат, ты где там?
Is there something I...
It's about Mount Gundabad. The place has an evil reputation.
I fear there is little I can tell you that you would not already know. You are aware that Gundabad was originally a great mansion of your kin, but is now a haven for orcs and other foul things.
I know the history of Gundabad well enough. In a way, I've even been part of it.
Certainly you are too young to have been there when your people sacked Gundabad during the war of the dwarves and orcs. Ah, but I forget Bolg and the Battle of Five Armies.
Bolg was the chieftain who led the orcs and wargs against us at the Battle of Five Armies. But he met his death there, and good riddance, I say.
It would seem no orc of Gundabad has been strong enough to lead such an army since. It would be a simple matter for Agandaur to gain their allegiance.
You know of our great war?
Only your people know the full story of that war. But enough word has come to me to know it began over 200 years ago, when your King Thror attempted to return to his ancestral home of Moria, only to be slain by the Orc King Aesog.
Aesog. Curse his foul name.
But you had your revenge.
Aye. Dwarves gathered from all across Middle-earth to make war upon the orcs of the Misty Mountains.
And after 9 years of bitter war, Aesog was slain by your lord, Dane Ironfoot.
Quite a deed it was, too. Him being just a stripling at the time.
So at last you had your revenge, but the cost was great.
Many of the orcs we fought in the Battle of Five Armies came from Gundabad. There were a lot fewer returned than left, I can tell you.
Yes, but many years have passed, and the orcs are ever quick to multiply. Gundabad is certain to be teeming with their kind once more. You must keep your wits about you as you search for Agandaur.
Well, Mount Gundabad awaits. Farewell, Master Elrond.
Ну, а еще орлы есть. Целых 3 штуки. Так, а где третий? Раз, два. С тебя начнем. Белерам? А нет, это Арминель.
I am grateful to you, valiant dwarf. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about your leader, Gwaihir.
Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
You Eagles will be a great help to us, that's certain. But I'm curious why you volunteered to join with us.
It was enough for me that Belaram wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the eagles the stone giant slew was my own father. You avenged him, and for that act alone I would bear any of you to the farthest ends of Middle-earth. And though Bargrasar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance against the master that sent him against us, Agandar. Your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down.
Were you one of the eagles that came to our aid at the Battle of Five Armies?
I was there. I saw the goblins that had stealthily climbed the slopes of the mountain to attack your people from above, and was among those who set upon them and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
By my beard, you might be the very eagle that saved me that day. Those blasted goblins were throwing boulders down on us.
If so, I am glad. Let all the foul servants of the enemy meet the same fate, and I will be content.
We're bound for Mount Gundabad, a long way from the sound of it. Are you ready for such a trip?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
Так, Белерам в последнюю очередь, давайте теперь с тобой побазарим. Берентор?
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Is Belaram your kin?
No, but he has always guided me. Belaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Belaram leads, I will follow.
Great eagles are no beasts of burden, Baron Thor. Are you sure you're willing to keep carrying us?
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Would you be one of the eagles that carried Bilbo and the dwarves to safety during their quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of Five Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
What can you tell me about Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
Gundabad awaits us.
It's a terrible, dangerous thing we're asking of you. Maybe we're asking too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
It's a great honor you do us, Belaram. I'll treasure your friendship more than gold or jewels.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to bear you to Gundabad.
It's a fine thing your friends have done, offering to help us and all. But do you think they really know what they've gotten themselves into? What can you tell me about them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
It was good of Gwaihir to give you leave to help us. It's unusual for the Lord of Eagles to concern himself with us ground dwellers.
It is true. Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
I take it you don't entirely agree with his view of things.
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an area that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
What'll be waiting for us at Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew. What chance do you think we have?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
We'll keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
Так, ну и ты что-нибудь новенького можешь сказать?
Well met again, Barin. Have you news for me?
Tell me about this banner.
It bears the symbols of Elendil, from whom Aragorn is descended. I have embroidered upon black below.
А, это уже был.
With this banner go all my hopes. My hope.
Bye.
Митриль еще, Митрил, ладно, идти. Митрил. Так. Поехали.
I hope we reach our destination soon, or this weather may prove more deadly than the orcs.
Take heart. We are nearly there, and this snowfall will hide us from the eyes of the enemy below.
Balaram, look! Above the mountain!
Set us down. We can attempt to find a way into the mountain under cover of this storm.
There is little chance of that, with those creatures keeping watch from above. Once we land you, my comrades and I will draw off the beasts.
Let's hope those flying beasts are too occupied with the eagles to notice us.
We can hope their eyes are less keen than those of our eagle friends. We may appear to be just a few more orcs among the hordes of Gundabad.
It's a sad day when I have to hope I'm mistaken for an orc.
Иди сюда, сука. Попадаю я. Но начинается вот эта вот хуйня. Блять. До свидания. Успел пиздануть ему по хребтине.
Well, it can't be us. We've only just arrived, and they're heading the other way.
But what then are they looking for?
Подруга, сделай купол, пожалуйста. Погоди, рано еще. Дополнительный урон от навыка боевой клич. Повышение урона наносим вашими спутниками в ближнем бою. ЛТРБ. Чтобы выстрелить, причиняющий увеличенный урон. Боезапас вашего арбалета увеличивается, позволяя делать несколько выстрелов подряд. Так, это что такое? Нажмите, чтобы атаковать сразу нескольких врагов. А, еще это. Ладно, окей. Так. Ведунья. Еще нет. Это щит. Так. Ладно, что там веду не может отдать, да? Давай, на, держи. Что-то еще можно было отдать ведунье. Показалось? Ладно, показалось. Ты теперь, не знаю, поменялось? Нет, непонятно. Тихо, спокойно. Блять, не успел, да как так-то? Спасибо. Все, теперь можно с тобой разобраться. Yes. Чего там где? Бля, жалко, эта камера-то не отдаляется. Аллилуйя.
Dwarf is upon you!
Так, все ты вел. С этим потом разберусь. Давай сначала в пещеру.
All that glitters is not gold. This is. Ah, there's a poor excuse for a hidden door here. What have we here? Ah, a vein of gold.
Вернуться к Арвен. Я что-то... нашел для нее, да? Эльфийский камень. Оружейные навыки замедляют врагов 100%. Угу. Окей. Да, надо не забыть. Какой здоровый парень. Так, ну сейчас, погоди. Сейчас пойдем по низу. Иди сюда. Давай. Я так тоже умею, сука. Как тебе без щита, мразь? Нормально? Ну, иди сюда. Ударил по жопе так сильно, чтобы башка отлетела.
match it. That's certain.
Идет сучка. Посмотри на него. Вот сука. Вот сука. Так, давай, пошли полечимся. Стреляйте в эту суку. Ну вот и хорошо. Арбалет высокогорья. Так, а вот можно тпшнуться назад. Оу. Так. 4 ловкости. До свидания. Так, сейчас. Погоди меня, брат. Погоди, браток. Мы тебя оденем в новые штуки. 16 ловкости. Ладно, сейчас я, наверное, это поправимо. Так. 16 ловкости. Да. Митрил. Я типа нашел митрил. Йо, барышня.
Well met again.
Be of good cheer, lady, for I've some wondrous news.
It is enough simply to have your company. Come, what is this good news?
I've come bearing treasure. Here's the mithril you asked for. And by Durin's beard, it's as beautiful as they say.
It is a joyous sight. It shines as though Elbereth herself had blessed this metal with the light of her stars. I cannot thank you enough for all that you have endured to bring this to me, the greatest of all gifts. But I will need only a fraction of this for the banner. The rest should be yours. Take it to the smith, Engnir. He has great skill in the working of true silver, so that it imparts special gifts of power and strength. I am certain he will be able to create something that will be of great benefit to you. And thank you again. Estelle's banner will be all I hoped because of you.
Хоба!
Hello again.
Gaze upon this, Smith. Mithril. As you know, the Lady Arwen has need of mithril, and I was lucky enough to get hold of this. She, thinks you could use what's left over to improve my own gear.
Ah, marvelous. I'm no stranger to working this most precious of metals, but even here in Imladris, I seldom have the opportunity. And there is certainly more than enough now for Arwen's need. With the remainder, I can inlay runes that will add great strength to your armor. Or should you prefer, I can enhance the power of a weapon to the bane of your enemies. You have but to choose.
Я не знаю, что ты конкретно можешь сделать. Ну давай, не знаю. Какую конкретную руну он мне так и не говорит. Ну, давай, например, на арбалет. Ну и...
Hello again.
Пока я здесь, давай сразу починимся. При 40 урон, замедление износа 5000%, ярость. Ну неплохо, неплохо. Очень неплохо. Это мы уже видели? Это мы уже видели. Пропустить. И опять? Ну давай. Не-не-не, давай сначала лучников. Да подожди ты. Интересно.
Our way is barred.
Здорово, парень, а где второй? Сука. Готовчик. Должен же выйти второй. Я помню точно. Нет, не точно, нихуя не помню. Или точно. Давай, подойди ко мне. Подходи, сука. Они друг друга коцают. Да это мне охуительная камера прям. Да еб твою мать. Все, до свидания, давай.
We are getting near to the mountain itself. If there's an entrance there, it'll be nearby.
Так, ловкость. Давай, ловкость. Да. Атаковать сразу. Нескольких врагов. Так. Да. Нет, моя булава все еще крута. Ни на что я пока что променивать не буду. Так, могу что-то вставить, кстати, в рукава себе. Оружейные навыки замедляют врагов 100%. Так, воля, удар, молния от огня. Плюс 5 воля. Да пока у меня с этим все в порядке.
Another orc warband.
What are they doing? Studying the ground?
There must be something wrong.
Look, there's a door.
Классный был заколок для секретика какого-нибудь. Вот сука. Давай, 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 давай. Готовчик. Ага. Готов. Ну давай, безглавить тебе надо.
The tracks are hard to read, but it appears the fighting carried on into the mountain. Someone was here before us. There was a fight here very recently.
The bodies. They're dwarves.
This one lives still.
Well then, come on, you scum. Finish it. You're not orcs.
Why are you here? What were you trying to do?
We seek a weapon. We must find it, use it, stop the orcs.
A weapon? What kind of weapon? Where can we find it?
Dwarf weapon. In the stone. Nordri has the key. Find them. Help them. Please. Save Nordenbach.
Where are your friends?
Went on. Can't say where. Now. Find them. They need help.
Nordenbach? Where's that?
It's too late. He's dead.
But there may be more like him within this fortress.
Aye, and they're looking for some sort of weapon. Come on, let's see if we can find them. It pains me to leave fallen dwarves to these accursed orcs, but we have no choice. Of once great Gundabad.
They delight in
vein of gold.
Of others, and twisting them to their own foul purpose.
These caverns echo the hammer blows of 1,000 orc smiths. A vein of gold. No sense leaving it for the orcs to find.
Так, обыскиваем каждый уголочек. Нет ли чего-нибудь крутого? Нету. О, вот есть. Булава грабителя. Вот же сука. Так. Опять ты, сука. Приятно, когда союзники вовремя стреляют куда надо. Двуручный меч Гундабадский. 251. 246. Вот это пока что круче.
All that glitters is not gold. This is. What have we here?
Ну почему, сука, лагает, блядь? Ну почему нахуй лагает, ёб твою мать? Хорош.
What of this? These chains and gears.
This is the heart of the enemy's war machine. They forge weapons and armor to equip the hordes gathering here.
They're making more than that. Can't you smell it? The same blasting powder used against us at Fortnite. Must be a huge store of it here.
Then let us destroy the gears. Perhaps we will slow their war mills.
Noise! What have we done?
Не успеваю я, что не говорят, читать. Одно знаю, что надо бежать. Только, товарищи, напарники, догоняйте меня. На что-то потратить. Yes. 260. 231. Ага. 120. Нет, это еще покруче. Все еще держит марку, так сказать. Места все меньше и меньше. Так, надо что-то куда-то опять переместиться, или мне уже все? Вроде пока никуда больше не надо. Так, цветочки собирать эти не надо.
All that glitters is not gold. This is. None left.
Ты заеб.
Nearly done for it.
Че, игра сломалась, что ли, или что, я не понимаю? Мне долго его пиздить или что? Барук Хазат. Где мой товарищ-то? Алло. Да ты чё, издеваешься? Да сука. И чё, и где мои братаны? Кажется, сейчас проебать. Я не доползу, не. Зажмотил я аптечку. Первая смерть. Охуеть. Охуеть. Ладно, пошли еще раз. Долбоёбы 2.
that glitters is not gold, but this is.
Один спустился. Спасибо ему за это. Что, выходим отсюда? Давай. Сюда уходим? Так, один без меча. Один без елды. Неплохо. Дальше. Сделай купол, сестра. Купол сделай, пожалуйста. Сестра, купол. Ну куда стреляешь? Давай, давай, давай. А, спасибо. Ой, как хорошо.
More fallen dwarves. We must be close.
We won't find out standing here.
Checkpoint.
This is it. Quick, lad, up you go.
No drink. There are too many orcs. We'll never hold them long enough.
Maybe not, but we can try. Well then, come on, you filth! Baruch Kazal!
Kazala Meadow!
We're friends! We're here to help you!
We must work
Так,
together
поехали.
to overcome these odds.
There's a mounted crossbow over there.
Man the mounted crossbows!
We'll hold them off! Kazan! Kazan!
Keep them away from the weapon at all costs!
Так, ну давай.
None left.
Нет боеприпасов. Так, главное по большим атаковать. С маленькими там и так разберутся. В принципе, если мне под прицел они попадаются, то их и так можно отхерачить. Ага. Так, 3 раза главное попасть. Сука.
To my side!
Твою мать. Ты, мать твою, серьезно?
Needs more time! Much appreciated, friend.
Ща, погоди. Так кто, блядь? Так, хуёво дело.
Take refuge here. I will shield us from their arrows and bolts.
Все?
No one brings you to a place like this. I'm mighty glad to see you all the same.
Чекпоинт.
We might say exactly the same. What are you doing here?
We've come to activate an ancient weapon.
With luck, it'll kill a lot of orcs.
What sort of weapon?
You'll see.
Once activated, it'll take some time to do its work.
Aye, it's sure to bring a lot more orcs down on us, too.
No time for dilly-dallying. Go ahead and use it.
We'll hold off the orcs.
A horn call? Are you mad? You're calling them here.
I did warn you about that.
Давайте.
This is a tall order.
Да, сука. Где там, что там, блядь? Здорово, парень. Так, ну-ка давай. Так, твою мать. Хуёво дело, хуёво. Ну что, вроде как все, да? Нормально все. Продержались. Вон тот сзади завис.
The whole mountain is coming down!
Aye, a good deal of it anyway. Just as we hoped.
You knew this was going to happen?
It's what we came here for.
We had to strike this blow if our people are to survive. I'm heartily sorry for getting all of you killed as well.
I don't think we need to worry about death just yet. Look!
Durin's beard!
Well, this is a day I'll not soon forget. I've seen a few things in my time, but I've not flown on an eagle's back till today. Well, now that it's a bit easier to talk, let me thank you properly for saving our lives and bid you welcome to Norinbad, our home. Nordri's father, the Lord Gorin, will want to speak with you. Nordri's gone ahead to report on the Gundabad raid and to tell him about everything you did for us.
Why did you lead your warriors against Mount Gundabad?
We keep a careful watch on the orcs in the mountains. When we saw them gathering in large numbers at Gundabad, we had reason to believe they were preparing to move against us here. We didn't like our chances against that many orcs, but we knew about the hidden weapon at Gundabad. So Nordri and I led a small force there to use it against them.
Seems like a suicide mission to me.
Aye, every dwarf was a volunteer and knew he wouldn't be coming back.
But you said Nordri is Goran's son? He let his son go on a mission like that?
He didn't have a choice. After a lifetime of lecturing the lad about his duty to his people, there was no way Goran could say no when Nordri volunteered, much as he'd have liked to.
I'd like to know a bit more about the weapon you used to collapse the ceiling of Gundabad.
It was an ancient defense made by the dwarves who delved Gundabad long ago. Nobody understood the qualities of stone better than the dwarves of old, and they knew that just the right sound can cause solid stone to split. They use that knowledge to build a defense against any enemy who might force their way past the gates of their home.
But Mount Gundabad has been in the hands of the orcs for centuries. How did you know about so ancient a weapon?
Aye, it's been in the hands of the orcs for many a year, but not straight through. I was only a lad when my people fought a great war against the orcs, but my father helped sack Gundabad. He was one of the stoneworkers who found the weapon. It made a big impression on him, and he told me the tale so many times I was sure I could find the thing and use it against the orcs.
But how could you be certain it would still work after all those centuries?
We didn't. The whole thing was a gamble. Luckily it paid off.
So, do you have something like that here?
Some things are best left secret, I think.
Do you think the orcs will follow us here to Nordenbad?
Escaping on eagles like we did will throw them off the trail a bit, but it won't be long before they realize it was a group of dwarves that hit them first, and that'll get them thinking about us here. It's not like they're not thinking about Nordenbad anyway, but I'll let Goran tell you more about that.
I'm pleased to make the acquaintance of a fellow dwarf, but between the fighting and traveling and all, I don't think we got your name.
Oh, confound me for an old fool. Bruni, son of Bane, at your service and your families. I'm captain of the Nordenbad Guard and a servant of Lord Goran.
We traveled east a long way over many mountain peaks to get here. But where in Middle-earth are we exactly?
Aye, it's east you've come. Clean over the Misty Mountains and along the length of the Grey Mountains. You've left the lands of Eriador behind. You're on the northern edge of the land of Rovanian now.
I'd like to hear a bit more about your Lord Goran before we meet him.
Goran's a great leader. He'd have to be to hold Nordenbad together for so long, surrounded by enemies and starved for basic necessities as we are. There's not a dwarf here who wouldn't lay down his life for him.
We'll be happy to speak with your Lord Goran.
Just make your way past the doors you see yonder and you'll find him within. The guards have been instructed to let you pass.
I suspect I'm the first man to see the inside of these halls.
I am certain I am the first elf to do so.
Ехал, ебать. Так, тут нельзя разбивать бочки.
Cram view this is. Bit chilly for my money, though.
Так, есть тут что? Еще потыкать.
You should not keep the lord of these halls waiting.
You should go speak with Lord Goran. You'll find him inside.
I'm on my way.
Не надо было сюда идти. Сейчас будет долгий
Here,
пиздец.
sire, those I spoke of. Allow me to present a kinsman, Farin of Erebor, and also Andriel and Eridan, his companions. We succeeded in our task, and I live to tell of it, thanks only to their aid.
You are most welcome here, kinsman, and no less so your companions, be they man, elf, or eagle. Welcome all to Nordenbad, last hall of the Longbeards in the Grey Mountains. You have returned to me, my son and my oldest friend, whom already I mourned as lost. For this, you will forever have my gratitude and the hospitality of these halls. Know that this is not something lightly given, for never before have we allowed any but our own folk to pass these gates. and no eyes have gazed upon the hidden lake of Azanzaram, save those of our close kindred. Yet for what you have done, I will gladly lay aside our ancient oath of secrecy.
You are fellow Longbeards. Then we truly are kin. I didn't know any of our folks still dwelt in the Grey Mountains.
Aye. In centuries past, most of our kin called these mountains home. But then the dragons came from the far north. One by one, our halls were lost or abandoned. All but Nordenbad. We alone endured those dark times. And thanks to you, we may hope to endure our current troubles as well.
Tell me about this Nordenbad of yours.
My great-great-grandsire was the first to enter the caves of this mountain, where he discovered the hidden lake we call Azanzaram. He was awed by its beauty, and led some of his kin here. Slowly, over many long years, with loving hands and careful chisels, we created the halls you see before you. Nordenbad was never rich in gold or jewels, but its beauty would move even the most cold-hearted dwarf. That is why we have remained here for so long. There is not a dwarf among us who would not choose death over exile from our home.
I have beheld many an underground lake, but never one as large and beautiful as this. Is this the work of your kin?
Nay, my ancestors discovered Azanzaram even as you see it. We have worked with care to enhance what we found. A chip here, a tap there, fashioning bridges, halls, and tunnels. But always, we have taken care to preserve the great gift we were given.
It is indeed a marvel. I would these were peaceful times, so I might bide here for a while to see all your works and wonders.
May I ask how it was you happened to be in so unlikely a place as Mount Gundabad? One does not go lightly into so foul a pit.
We were seeking a servant of the enemy, a man known as Agandar.
Agandar. We are familiar with that one. Curses Blackheart.
He appeared before our gates some weeks past, and called us to parley. In the name of Sauron the Great, so he said.
What did the snake have to say?
He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron. As if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordenbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the fiery doom that overtook our ancestors.
Fiery doom? You don't think...
I fear he may have allied himself with the dragon Orgast who dwells in these parts. With such a beast at his command, we would have little hope of resisting him.
Dragons, curse them all. But could even Agandar persuade a dragon to do his will?
Perhaps not on his own account. But if he speaks for the Dark Lord, even Orgast would think twice before offending him.
Dragons are wicked creatures, and their greed knows no bounds. Agandar only has to name the right price.
Then would it not be best to destroy this dragon before it can be used as a weapon?
Huh. Destroy Orgast? If only it were that simple. The attack on Gundabad would be a peaceful stroll around the lake in comparison. Nay, if it were so easy to slay dragons, there would be many more dwarves still dwelling in these mountains.
Orgast has never taken notice of us before. We rather hoped it would stay that way.
They say it does not pay to leave a live dragon out of your calculations if you live near one.
And we cannot allow Agandar to gain such a powerful ally.
Aye, better go after it before it comes after us. Where can we find Orgast?
You do not lack for courage, I will grant you. Yet we know not where the dragon dwells. No dwarf has discovered his lair and lived to tell of it.
Perhaps Radagast knows this secret, or can discover it. Seems there is little that happens in Wilderland that escapes his notice.
And who is Radagast?
Radagast the Brown. He is a wizard, a master of birds and beasts. He keeps to himself mostly, but he's a decent enough sort. As long as you mean no harm to the wild creatures he befriends.
He dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the south. Perhaps Perhaps your companion Belaram would know where to find him. For it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles himself.
We should travel to Mirkwood. If Radagast knows as much as you say, it is certain to be worthwhile.
Indeed. But before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude. Seek out my steward Galahar. I have instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
Наконец-то отпустили мои яйца.
There's a view that would move the heart of any dwarf. It's marvelous. We would be honored if you would accept a token of our gratitude. Find my steward Galahar. I have instructed him to present you with some of our finest work. Choose whatever you will, and may it thank you for your generosity.
I still can't believe I'm alive. I thought I would draw my last breath in the fetid air of Mount Gundabad.
Ладно, это потом.
Mind you.
Farewell, Mordred.
Это потом. Так, увеличение радиуса действия навыков, удар с размахом, удар по земле, удар мельницы. Если примерно боевой клич во время боя, то здоровье гнома и его спутнику будет восстанавливаться в течение некоторого времени. Здоровье. Давай. Да. Ебаный щит.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.